Please hold. If you guys don't have one of these yet, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Christmas? Brad and Rach on location.
We set up our tent in our living room.
Can that get dimmer? That's better.
That's good.
Okay.
We have 2 of our 3 pets in here. 3 of our kids are in bed. We have a lot of we have a lot of life in this house.
There is a lot of life in this house.
We have 5, 6, 7, 8 lives.
And you have 1.5 plants.
1.5.
Yeah, that one's definitely in its last life.
No, it's not. It's gonna make it.
Rachel has a black thumb.
There.
Oh, yeah.
It's better.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, everybody. So tonight's theme, memes.
Memes about optometry.
We were gonna do COVID, but we feel like it's too soon.
No,
can't.
It'd be really insensitive.
We can't make light of that situation yet.
Not yet.
Maybe not ever.
No, probably not ever. On a lighter note, we're gonna do optometry. So we're both optometrists. We practice in a private practice. I'm also at the prison, and I'm also a Navy reservist that does optometry for the Navy.
He's at the prison doing eye exams.
I'm not an inmate in the prison.
Never have been.
I get to leave whenever I want.
True.
Meme number 1.
Hey girl, are you an angel? Or is that halo just a symptom of my cataracts? Oh,
Yeah,
that's cheesy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
That's pretty much the pickup line I used to get Rachel.
Yeah, because you have cataracts. One of the first symptoms of cataracts are when you're driving at night, you get halos around headlights. Headlights, specifically at nighttime, are really debilitating because at night your pupils are even bigger than normal, and so light is allowed to just scatter. So in the dark, headlights come at you and that light scatters. You get halos around the lights, and you get all kinds of glare problems like that.
That's probably the number 1 reason why patients come in after their cataracts have started.
Yep.
Like, my nighttime driving, those headlights, there's so much glare and halos.
Yes.
Even young folks, they complain about nighttime driving.
But it's specifically bad when you've got cataracts. Mm-hmm. I always compare it to a dirty windshield. You can drive around all day with a dirty windshield and it won't bother you much, but at sunset or sunrise, when you're driving straight into the sun, it just highlights all of that stuff and makes it really hard to see through. So that's kind of like the cloudiness of the lens inside your eye. So really the only way to fix that is to do cataract surgery at that point. You can do some things that help, like anti-glare coating.
Anti-glare coating is what I always recommend when they're not quite ready for cataract surgery.
Mm-hmm. Cleaning the inside of your windshield, surprisingly, does a really good job. All right, this is a good one. Meme number 2.
Number 2. You claim that you never sleep in your contact lenses. According to your corneas, that was a lie.
Nice.
Oh, Maury, your eye doctor, your optometrist, your ophthalmologist, we can tell when you sleep in your contact lens. Wearing a contact lens starves your cornea of much needed oxygen from the environment. So how does your body make up for it? It grows new blood vessels onto your cornea called neovascularization. And that's a problem because new blood vessels like that can leak, they can impede your vision, they can get worse, and they can grow into the central part of your vision. It's one of the first signs that your corneas are in distress and you need to stop overwearing your contact lenses.
Yep. And we can see that when we look at your eyes under the microscope. So when you say, I don't sleep in my contacts, we know you're lying. The thing about the cornea is it's really unique. It's the very clear surface dome of the eye. It is unique because the entire body needs oxygen and it needs nutrients. And the cornea doesn't have a blood supply because if it did, you wouldn't be able to see through it. So it gets its oxygen mostly from the environment in front of it. So when your eyes are open, it gets oxygen absorbed from the environment, and then it gets its nutrients from the aqueous humor behind the cornea, the fluid behind it. So when you have a contact lens, a piece of plastic essentially or silicone on the surface of the eye, you're inhibiting the amount of oxygen that can get through to it. Contact lenses are getting better and better all the time, so we're seeing less and less of this being an issue. Although the FDA approves some contact lenses for being slept in, all eyes don't handle that well. So,
and we still don't recommend it.
Never.
Your risk for an infection increases by 6 times if you sleep in your contact lenses.
Right. So if you've always done it, great. It's any time now that it may start affecting your eyes.
Here you go. Number 3?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Then I showed him that same thing twice and said, which is better, 1 or 2? It's a bunch of gentlemen sitting there drinking. So I should start by saying when we're doing the refraction, which is how we determine your prescription.
When we put that giant pair of fancy glasses right in front of your eyeballs.
And we give you some choices and we label them 1 or 2 just for simplicity. Because if we say this one or that one or this one or this one,
that's confusing.
It's very confusing. So we just arbitrarily assign the choices numbers. They don't mean anything other than an arbitrary choice. So when someone is like, number 1 is skinnier and bolder and number 2 is fatter and bigger or whatever, it's like, that did not answer my question. I just want to know which one you like better.
Yeah, we don't need to know
what they look like to you, just whichever one you prefer. And I try to make it clear when I'm doing a fraction that that's what I'm after.
Yeah, just pick one between 1 or 2.
Just pick one, pick one, pick one.
Yep, pick one.
But the best answer is they look about the same.
That's
They're
okay.
equal.
I always tell patients that too. I say if they look exactly the same, that's actually a good thing.
That's when we know we've hit our mark.
Yep.
Because what we're doing basically is jumping the image in front of the retina and behind the retina. And if they look about the same, that means we know that we're on the retina and in a good spot.
Unless they're equally bad. Yeah, so refractions I know can be very stressful for some people.
Well, especially engineers are, I mean, I don't want to stereotype, but yeah, engineers are just known for being it's horrible doing a refraction on them.
Yeah. As an eye doctor though, I like to know before we start if this type of test makes you anxious, and I can cater that test to you. If it causes you anxiety to make these decisions over and over and over, like I know what it's like to have decision anxiety, so to speak. So if that's the
Yes,
case,
you do.
just let your doctor know and I'll take it extra slow. I'll show you as many times as you need me to. And if they look the same, that's okay. And if sometimes I'll recheck you without you knowing it. So if I can tell you're hesitating or you're close on one, I'll come back to that later and recheck you. And if you're consistent with yourself, then I'll tell you that and be like, you know what, you really know what you want.
Or we'll just make it up and be like,
or we just like
but
split
you
the
were
difference.
Super consistent.
Good one.
If I never had to refract another patient again, that would be awesome.
What?
I don't particularly enjoy refractions.
This is a good one.
No, it's not because of your astigmatism. Ah!
Listen and listen good.
Oh my gosh. Astigmatism. So that is the correct spelling and pronunciation. Astigmatism.
Mm-hmm.
It's not astigmatism or stigmatism
Or stigmata. I say astigmatism still. You're pretty much the only person I know that calls it astigmatism. But it does sound very proper. Sometimes it's plural for patients. They'll say stigmatisms.
Yeah, stigmatisms.
It doesn't, I want to be careful. It doesn't run in families.
So about 90% of the glasses prescriptions that we write.
You think 90?
96.
I'd say it's rare that there's no astigmatism at all.
It's almost 100%. Well, no. It's okay, 98%. How about 98?
I'll go 98.5.
Okay, 98 it is. Percent of eyeglasses prescriptions that we write have some astigmatism as part of the prescription.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that the cornea, which is that clear structure that we talked about earlier, it's not a perfect sphere. So you have 360 degrees of your cornea, and the cornea is not perfectly sphere. That means some of the degrees of your cornea require a different power than the next degree.
So I explain it like when we look at your prescription going this way, it's different than when we look at your prescription going this way. So we dial in your prescription for this meridian and this meridian individually and set it at the axis that's appropriate for you.
So pretty much every patient, almost nobody has a perfect cornea, a perfectly spherical cornea. So we have to prescribe astigmatism correction or cylinder for 98% of patients.
So a lot of people think that it's a disease because it sounds like a disease.
Mm-hmm. I got the astigmatism.
I will say a portion of patients with astigmatism, it is hereditary and it runs in families, but that's only if it's borderline what we call keratoconus. And that's when there's a lot of astigmatism. Like if you look at the eye going this way, there's no prescription at all. This way it's extremely nearsighted. So those people can't see far away, they can't see up close, everything is distorted, they can't function without glasses really.
And their prescription, if it's not exactly at the prescribed degree, then they're not going to see well.
Right. Most glasses, the leniency on their prescription can go like 10 degrees one way or the other.
And it doesn't matter.
But with these particular patients that are borderline keratoconus, if it's 2 degrees off, they'll know it and they won't be able to see very well. So that's when it can run in families if you have this history of family members with keratoconus or just really high amounts of astigmatism. So yeah, I mean, not to like downplay anybody's concerns, but having astigmatism is not something that is concerning to us as a doctor. It's not something that you should be worried about. Some people are just like, I almost don't even want to tell patients that they have astigmatism in their glasses because it just like makes people stressed out, and it should not. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your eye. It's just a way to describe your glasses prescription. I will say it's really fun doing this because I get to hear a lot of these things, especially really common topics like dry eye, maybe a bacterial conjunctivitis or pink eye, viral conjunctivitis, allergic conjunctivitis, astigmatism, all of those things we have sort of a
We
give our
basically have
spiel.
a script.
Yeah, because we talk about it so often and
Exactly.
we do patient education on those things frequently.
All day.
So it's really fun to hear your patient education on some of the things that
Yeah,
are...
I know. I should have wrote a couple of down that you said I could use those.
Same to you. I don't know who you are, but I'm not taking your PD to buy from Zenny Optical. Okay, I'm gonna get off my high horse for a second and say that maybe 50 or 60% of you guys with a glasses prescription will do just fine by ordering from online sources like Zenny, Warby Parker, those places.
Yeah, we can't badmouth. Some of the time, they do a really, really good job.
I would say some of the time, maybe 50-50. The other time, they royally screw it up, and something as important as your glasses that you're wearing every single day, if you're somebody who truly needs them, you're wearing them every single day, your eye comfort, visual comfort, is extremely important, and that's not going to be the top priority of these online retailers.
No.
It can't be because they don't see you in person.
And we don't want to sound like we're preaching to you, but
Nope.
we're telling you the truth. You know, think about a good pair of glasses can last you 3-5 years. I have a pair of glasses that I've had for 10 years. So if they cost you $300, but they last you for 5 years, that's a pretty darn good investment in our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And
No pun intended.
and if you shop local, you're supporting local, so you're supporting our families.
Yeah, you're putting food on the table for Lendl and Bear and Eloise.
Exactly. And the customer service. You can come in at any time. Our opticians will fix your glasses, fit you back up.
Clean them, adjust them.
We have warranties on the frames and the lenses themselves.
If a nose pad falls out, we'll put in a new nose pad. No questions asked, no cost.
So you're much better off shopping local, going to your local optometrist, buying your glasses there, than some big online store. Retailer will, yeah, you'll save a couple of bucks, but I mean, in the long run, you'll probably pay for it.
Additionally, if you have vision insurance at all, we accept your insurance, and a lot of times you can be out the door with like a $20 copay, sometimes no copay at all. So if you have any type of vision insurance at all, you won't be able to use those with the online retailers, but you would be able to at our office. So another thing to keep in mind.
And even for the exam, so even if you don't have vision insurance and you only have medical insurance, if you're probably over the age of 50, we can use your medical insurance to bill your exam because you're most likely going to have the beginning of cataracts.
Don't let that shock you. Almost everybody over the age of 50 at least has the very beginnings of cataracts. So we can bill your medical insurance for that. You don't even need a vision plan at that point.
All right, so hopefully you learned something and enjoyed having fun with us.
Yeah, if you have any specific questions, leave them in the comments below. However, we can't discuss.
We can't give out medical advice.
Yeah, I
over
say
the
if you have
internet.
any specific questions, ask us, but we won't be able to answer.
No, yeah.
No,
But-
don't even ask them.
Funny stories, comments, those are welcome.
Yeah, if you have any topics you'd like us to hit on in the future, please let us know.
Hit that subscribe button, follow us on our journey.
We will see you next time.